Hello and welcome to another episode of Streaming 101. My name is T-Rex and I'm here, of course, with my brother, Professor Broman, and today's topic is health and lifestyle as a streaming person, but also you can apply it probably to YouTube.
Content creator.
Yeah, anyone you want to be.
Or, anyone who works hard.
Yeah.
Also, Happy New Year. This is the first podcast
Yeah.
of the year.
Today is the 10th of January of 2016. We haven't died yet. Cats haven't invaded the
We were
planet.
gone for 3 weeks. Traveling and holiday stuff, which fits into this podcast very well. So you might be wondering why exactly cover the topic of health and lifestyle for a streamer, because it's just like it's just what you do for fun. It's just you sit down and you play video games. And I guess this could probably be considered one of the more, like directed topics that we're discussing. But I think that health and lifestyle is a great discussion to have, regardless.
Yeah.
What your job is. Would you agree, T-Rex?
I mean, for sure. I mean, especially if you're any kind of desk job or like a sedentary job, and you also have sedentary hobbies. Like, I mean, that was me. I mean, for a while when I worked at Geek Squad, I was just sitting in the back. Or at least on some days, I would just sit in the back, fix computers, then come home, sit in front of a different computer, and then do stuff. You know, that'd be my typical day. So, you mix all those things, you don't get out much.
It's rough.
You look like this.
I figure we could start off. Let's cover. Just like we always do, let's cover any health and lifestyle related stuff that we have been through since we started streaming.
Do you want to give like a health background before that? Like
let's do health background on me and you. That's
sure.
Smart. So I'll hit it up first. So what should we just talk about? Like, whatever health background. So
yeah,
my general health background. It's like, here's my health resume.
Also, here's my social security number and my blood type and my semen.
You can my medical records. No. So for me, my health background is like before I got into streaming, I was always like a relatively active and fit person. I participated in powerlifting and was preparing for a competition while I was streaming and stuff like that. So I've always generally been a healthy person, and most of my jobs that I've had my entire life before streaming were standing jobs. So like retail jobs, hospital-related jobs, everything where I'm up and moving all the time. And so those are kind of the two, I guess, big facets of health. Also, I have Crohn's disease, which is, like a thing, which definitely plays into, it's a nice link. It's like a guidepost for me when it comes to health and lifestyle, because and we'll get into this later, but like when things get too stressful, it triggers that problem. And so
so you want to talk about Crohn's later?
Yeah, we can talk about it later. But it fits very well in here. But yeah, it's T-Rex. Sure.
So me, I'm kind of in the same boat. I didn't do as many. Actually, no, I did until I hurt my shoulder. I forgot I played tennis. I was pretty active for a long time. Basically, I probably started getting out of shape probably senior year and upwards is kind of when I definitely went to a lot more sedentary stuff. Before that, I mean, I was the skinniest kid in class, like all the time, shortest, skinniest. I got older, I grew. Now I'm about 6 feet. Played tennis for a long time. I have a shoulder injury that essentially I'm more or less have no cartilage in that shoulder anymore. I have some, but I still like normally wasn't that bad, but like if I do really rough exercises, it's tough. On top of that, weak muscles in the shoulder now. So now if I, the problem was I would do a serve, like my hard serve, and I would essentially dislocate and then relocate my shoulder during the motion of the serve. So I had to stop playing. Then for work, I worked first for Oberweis Dairy, standing up all the time. Other retail places, standing up all the time. So up until this job, like every job I had was involved standing, minus the little bit of like the year or so in Geek Squad where I was, sitting in the back. But even then, I would go out in front some days and do that a lot. So I don't have Crohn's, but supposedly, this is what I've been told, and I think it's really interesting. The same genes that cause Crohn's disease can also cause food allergies. I am deathly allergic to peanuts and eggs, straight. Whenever like the peanut oils and stuff, and then also like eggs if they're baked into something, where like the things that or the proteins or whatever it is that were in the eggs get cooked out. I can have some of those things, but there's like a spectrum. Can't have quiche. I can have pancakes. It's like it's super weird.
Yeah.
So I that shaped what I eat. It still does. just because I grew up eating a specific amount of things and was told everything will kill you. Um, so, talking about did in college. I mean, college there wasn't much. I didn't do sports in college because like I said, the only thing I wanted to play was tennis, and I couldn't. College was very short for me because I dropped out and then went just straight to work. So that's why I don't talk about college because it wasn't a huge part of my life. And yeah, now we're both here. That's kind of us. Oh, and then if you also want to know about at least our father's history, like we have a history of heart, just because it's also part of it.
It matters, yeah.
We have a very high risk of heart disease. I don't think Alzheimer's, cancer, and I don't think obesity. What's the term? High cholesterol, blood pressure. I forget what it is.
It might be cholesterol.
Either way, a lot of things to watch out
I'm getting
for.
a blood panel done, soon.
Really?
No.
Oh dang.
Yeah, as part of my general physical, I want them to look at all of my levels.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
But yeah, so those are kind of like that's our little health background. So the reason particularly wanted to talk about this subject was it's the new year and health is on everyone's mind. Because the year rolls over and it's like, oh hey man, like what are you doing? What's your New Year's resolution? You get in shape? You get less fat? You son of a bitch. All that stuff. But there's so many more facets to health other than just like the way that you look. And I think T-Rex touched on it at the beginning, but one of the biggest problems if you're a streamer or a YouTuber is you spend a lot of time sitting. Which is, like you always hear the horror stories of like this kid died in Korea because he played a game for 20 hours and got a blood clot and it went into his heart brain. He died.
Say his heart brain?
Yeah.
The heart brain, everyone knows.
Yeah, the heart brain. So there's obvious real life implications when it comes to like obviously living a sedentary lifestyle. So something that I do personally to combat that is like I work at a standing desk. So like right now, if I want to, I can like push my chair back and I could stand up if I wanted to. I'm standing. Whoop, whoop. Which is like a lifestyle improvement that kind of took me a long time to commit to. Because, going from a desk that everyone can sit on to a standing desk means that you got to spend a lot, you have to invest in it. You have to decide what you want. And you don't want to overinvest in a setup health-wise just because like, I think this will be great. And you go out and you spend like $10,000 setting up your room. So it's supposed to be all ergonomic and you can't work.
Yeah.
So that along with like doing a break every hour to 2 hours where I usually is how I tend to try and take care of, that part of my health issues. What do you do, T-Rex?
I don't do much, which is the problem. I mean, I'm usually like, I don't take a lot of breaks. I should, but I don't because I want to keep working and, I want to keep entertaining and doing what I'm doing. Breaks, like, it's weird because I feel like as an entertainer, you can kind of get into a cadence. It's where, like, you're doing something that you just lose track of time or, you like what you're doing, you don't want to stop. And then, the other thing that I dealt with for a long time was I didn't want to lose viewers if I took a break. Sure. That was a thing, too, that I struggled with. Sometimes still do, depending on the day. If I'm like, feel like I'm doing really well, I'm like, shit, I don't want to take a break. Fucking, I want to keep those 200 folks that might leave or whatever, That link. It's fine. Guys, just click it. It's so whatever. Sorry. They're fine.
That's the best desk I use. I bought it at Lowe's. The desk is $200. It's not bad. So that's actually a really good like segue point into like the first real strong intersection between health and lifestyle when it comes to streaming on Twitch is that you spend a copious amount of time sitting and you feel, since it's a live medium, that if you leave, you're not present and therefore you are making a mistake, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm leaving, so I'm losing viewers. I'm taking a break, so people aren't going to watch. I remember I used to binge stream where I would sit in my chair for 8 hours a day and just not move. Which it's terrible for you. Like sitting for that long is awful for you, and that's what kind of the precipitating factor in my worst injury that I've had since I started streaming, which is like I have a herniated disc in my back because I sat with shitty posture for such long periods of time without moving. That one of the discs decided to be like, "Hey man, what's up? I'm just gonna," and start squishing on one of my nerves. which was terrible. I'm still recovering from that. It's been almost a year since the injury happened, and it's rough. Part of me really, really wishes that I had taken more time for myself when I started streaming, because I might not be in this situation. You know what I mean? Have you had anything like that, T?
Of like not. I mean, it's always been my back. But it's weird. So back in University City where I used to live, I had this like leather-ish chair, high back chair. It was wide enough that I was like, my back's kind of okay, but still I was like, kind of always moving around. Tailbone didn't feel quite right, kind of thing. Then when I moved here, I was like, all right, we're gonna choose a good chair. And I got this like Office Depot chair that's like super duper nice, and it was like the 8+ hour recommended when I sat, and I was like, all right, I feel like I have support. Then when I was using it, I didn't exactly feel that, and it was really frustrating because I was like, I bought the chair that was made for what I'm doing, and it didn't help. And then recently, this is once again super annoying to me because I don't hate DX Racer. I just dislike they have the thing on like right here. Typically, that's like the only problem I have with them is like I don't like that. So I have the pillow gone. But like when I have this chair and like how like easy the back moves and how cushiony it's been and how wide it's been, I actually really like this chair. I feel like this is the most support my back has ever felt. It reminds me of the car seat. In the Scion, where I feel like it's just
awesome.
It cups like my entire back and my spine, like it's great. So that's not me trying to advocate. I'm just saying it's my personal experience.
No, yeah,
I paid by DX Racer.
I just replaced my old chair. I think since I started streaming, I've gone through 5 different chairs, and every time it's like an experiment. And it takes like 2 months for me to identify the thing that I don't like about the chair. Like this last chair that I have, it's still right next to me. It leans forward, so I'm like, I felt like I was constantly like fighting leaning backwards because it was like a flat surface, and like my chair before that just didn't support my lower back. Before that, I sat on a hard wooden chair.
Oh yeah,
I sat on a stool. So I've evolved in my sitting stuff. But I think that the number one thing to consider when you're streaming and when you're setting up your office, the first health concern you have is obviously going to be the fact that you're sitting and it's your back. So I think from T-Rex and myself, both of our recommendations would be find a good chair that supports you and take breaks.
Yeah.
But taking breaks is so hard. And there's actually a great question in chat that was the next thing I wanted to cover, because obviously, okay, you're streaming or you're content creating and you're playing a game for 8+ hours a day. It affects your hands, right? For me, I started getting pretty chronic pain in my wrists and forearms after about 2 years of doing Twitch every single day, and the only thing that fixed it was making a lifestyle change of taking a day off. Do you have anything like that, T?
Not anymore. I fixed it, for me at least.
You fixed it. What was going on?
Well, I mean, for me, it was my thumbs. My thumbs would twitch all the time. Like there would be an inadvertent twitch. Like I'd be like driving and be like, I'd feel my thumb just start twitching, and it would happen when I'm sleeping. And everywhere I went, it would always like just randomly start to like vibrating. And it was actually it was vibrational controller for me. So like my forearm stuff don't hurt, but I had really annoying twitching in my hands because of vibration. Once I turned that off, all the chronic pain I had in the twitching went away. Like within like 2 weeks, just gone.
That's
so.
Intense.
I would say, I mean, I don't know why my body reacted that way, but I would say for sure, if you do this as often as we do, I would highly recommend that you should either turn vibration off all the time, which is what I do, or, if there's a game where it's like, it's part of it, like Until Dawn, it's like, you gotta have the vibration, you gotta have it.
Yeah.
Like, that's different, but like, having it on every day when you're streaming 8 hours a day for like a shooter, and you're, doing a lot of Twitch shooting, like, it takes its toll. That's why I feel like that's why I don't hear that problem as often as KBM, just because I would assume that the vibration doesn't affect them because they're obviously using KBM.
And then mouse and keyboard is a little bit more natural position for your hands.
Especially if you get like the ergonomic stuff for it.
Yeah. Grasping a controller.
Clawing,
Or like resting your hands on something. It's definitely different. So that's back, that's hands, and sort of overall health.
There was Vision. You want to talk about that?
Vision is good. I don't know. I feel like the whole vision and streaming and working at computers and all that crap is sort of an old wives' tale. Like, there's
Almost.
never really been any confirmed. I don't know the right word to say it. There's never been any really confirmed reports of like
It
oh,
damaging
this
your
kid went
eyes.
blind from all the crappity crap. You know, I think. I mean, for me, like I wear glasses, but I actually did more damage to my eyes in college reading all those books than I have ever done.
With low light and stuff like that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, like in college, I wanted to go in and get LASIK, right? I went in and talked to the doctor, and I was like, "Hey, man, I want to get LASIK. Like, I'm ready to fix my eyes." He's like, "You in college?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you read a lot?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "I wouldn't even touch you until you were done with college."
Oh wow.
And since I finished, my eyes progressively got worse and worse while I was in college. And since I finished, my eyes actually have stopped getting worse.
Well, that's good. I didn't know that.
So I don't know how that applies to everyone, but
Stay out of college. That's the lesson there. Yeah, for sure.
Stay out of college. Save your eyes.
Save your eyes. You can go blind.
Hunt fish with
You'll
your hand.
read your eye out, kid.
You'll read it out. But my prescription really hasn't changed that much since I finished college 4 years ago. But it would change every year. It would get worse. You know, I'd have to go get a new set of glasses and stuff like that. So that's my visual health promo, is that as long as you are in a position where, you know, you're not like right up on your shit, I think it's going to be okay. What about you, T-Rex?
I mean, my eyes are pretty much good. I think when I went in, I have like, it's 20 something. I have really good eyesight. I have astigmatism in my right eye that makes things a little blurry sometimes, but he said if I wanted to get glasses, I could, but I mean, there's no real need to. It'd be just kind of if I actually wanted to kind of thing. It would quote unquote for my eyesight, but he said like it wouldn't make it last longer, wouldn't change anything. It'd be just if you have a problem reading, then you probably may need reading glasses, but that's fine. And I think the other question everyone wanted.
Before we move on from eyes, there's actually two things.
No, I'm still talking about eyes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say people were saying specifically about eyes. Like, you know, they weren't asking about going blind. They said about headaches and like
Eye
strain.
strain,
Yeah. For me, I mean, I don't, but I also run dark mode on everything on my desktop, which I've realized a quality. Like I can say if I had normal chat open, full screen on a monitor at all times, that it was awful. I hate it. That's why even when I had enough room to have Skype full screen when we used Skype way back when, I would still put it in small because I didn't like how the white background always being in my face. That's why I run darker Twitch. It's not because like it looks cooler. It's because I just physically I can look at it longer without being worried about it. That's why like when I way back when I still had computers and tablets like in e-readers, I would say like, you know, if you want to, you know, use your tablet for longer, and you read books on your tablet, put a black background, white text. Be easier on your eyes. 100% of the time. So I recommend that for sure. Yeah. If you do anything, if you have a dark mode for a site you use frequently, use it. I do it for Reddit. I do it for Twitch. I wish there was one for Twitter. I could get TweetDeck. I just need to do that, and then do it that way. But basically everything I use, I make sure to have it be a darker mode, so that way I can look at it for a prolonged period of time without getting headaches. Because I used to. Sometimes I would. Even now having chat being white, it actually kind of bothers me. I wish it wasn't.
Wish it was dark.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of I saw one program that I used to use all the time get brought up in chat, and it's called Flux, F.Lux. And it tracks your computer's color temperature over the time of the day that it is. So it's actually really good just kind of in general for like keeping you in tune with like a natural rhythm of like you're inside all day, but the color temperature on your screen will change as time progresses. So like in the morning, it'll get brighter in the day and then darker towards the night to kind of like ease you into and out of your day, which is awesome.
Yep.
But if you spend a lot of time working in a dark room, you can also like it has all sorts of settings like dark room setup and other stuff. So that way your monitor's color temperature and brightness and everything is always adjusted to the amount of light that's in your room and what's most comfortable for your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a huge thing. Another thing was a piece of advice that my eye doctor gave me the last time I went in. And he said, if you ever get like burning on your eyes every once in a while when you're streaming, which used to happen to me, especially, well, it happened to me a lot when Taken King launched because I was always trying to take in information.
Oh.
but to put a sticky note on your monitors, one of your monitors that just says blink, because you will forget to blink when you're focusing really hard. So like blinking or making sure to look away from your monitors at another point in your room every once in a while is also really important.
There you go.
Yeah.
What else did I see that was really good? I could have sworn I saw something. Blur, blur, blur. Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of talking about light and like the flux thing. Have you ever thought about getting one of those stations? And this sounds so like this is how bad it is, at least for me. Like where it is a special kind of light, where basically
like a UV light bulb.
yeah, like I mean not for this, but like I kind of want to do that. Where they're like 30 minutes a day. It gives you enough vitamin D to your body, kind of thing. I thought about that just because I don't.
Or just go outside.
Well, I could, but do you know my
day.
stream hours? I wake up at like noon, and I stream till like 7 or 8, and the sun's gone. It's irrelevant,
Sun's gone. Yeah, man.
You don't always have an option.
One of the hardest things is keeping your hours straight, and that's actually a great
satellites. There, yeah.
Into the lifestyle section, because another big problem, and we addressed this a little bit with on the Growing Your Stream podcast, which you haven't watched. If you haven't listened, watch to that. Go back and do it. It's invaluable. We really need to get those guys back on to continue that discussion. But when you're setting up your stream, and this is actually a really good advice for a new streamer, you need to consider when you set up your schedule, what would my life be like if this was my schedule every day for 4 years? I wish somebody would have told that to me when I started streaming, because one of the biggest pieces of advice you get is like always be streaming, but the thing is like that is impossible to maintain over a long period of time.
Yeah.
We've seen we've seen recently there's been examples of people on Twitch that have come out and said like, look, this pressure that I put on myself to always be on like led me to addictions of various kinds just so I could stay awake, just so I could be there. And that's terrible. When you're setting up your stream, you really need to consider the kind of impact that your hours are going to have on the rest of your life and the people around you. I know that T-Rex can probably attest to this, because when I started streaming full time, I worked so much, I basically just completely cut off everyone in my life, including my family, which was really shitty of me. And I'm sure T-Rex felt a little bit of that when it happened.
We had to talk about that.
Yeah, we've had a few talks about that, but it's not, it's not something that you would consider. So if you want to stream 7 days a week, you need to think about how long you are willing to do that for, or how much that might affect your life. And for some people, that might not be a problem. Like, let's say you just started college, streaming 7 days a week isn't a big deal for you. You don't have a lot of social commitments outside of school or whatever. But if you're starting to stream, and this is a theme that's come up often, is what if I'm a working dad or a working mom? You really have to put a lot of thought into the kind of schedule that works for you.
That's why like people are like, oh, I mean, if anyone's like T-Rex, why would you choose a side? I'm like, I live alone. I have a cat. No family within numerous states. So it's different for me than for a lot of people. Plus before I'm even here though, I was somehow making it work with all that stuff involved with actual work.
True.
That sounded bad. Not actual, but like, non-streaming work on top of this. And I juggle all that. But now it's nice, like, kind of having the freedom to choose the schedule I want. Because I've always been a night owl. Always I've been a night owl. I'm the kind of guy who's up at 4 a.m. from the day before. Always have been. So I've been, for a long time, I fought that. When my channel was first starting out and we were doing stuff together in Destiny, we would do raids at like 10 a.m.
Oh god, yeah, it was rough.
That was for a long time too, like months.
It was, yeah.
But it was brutal on me because that dictated my schedule, and my body fought it every day. Yeah. And it wasn't until I would say probably until I moved to Austin that I was finally like, fuck it. I'm not. This isn't gonna happen anymore. Like I can't do it. So now, I don't mind, waking up once or twice because it's like a planned thing, but like every single day, no.
Yeah.
So now I'm sitting there like, I kind of wake up and, early afternoon, maybe before noon, do normal stuff for a couple hours and then hit hard. Or if nothing else to do, go immediately shower, come out of shower, start streaming. Or if I'm in a rush, I'll start streaming and then hop in the shower. It's fine. No one's going to know.
And the other, I guess the other big thing when it comes to, or at least what comes to my mind, especially since we just went through the holidays, is when it comes to like living your life while you're trying to be a full-time broadcaster, or you are a full-time broadcaster. One of the biggest hurdles, and I really wish that there was a better way that I could say this, would be like social, like things that you have to do as a human, like the holidays, birthdays, hanging out with friends. Like there's this huge list of things that you because you're an adult technically have a choice on whether or not you wish to do them.
Yeah,
But again, and I guess this is the don't do what Broman did broadcast, just like the don't be a brotato broadcast. It's like for me, the choice that I made lifestyle wise when I started streaming was fuck everything and everyone else. I want to do this as a career. So I'm just turning the outside world off, and if it's not about streaming, I don't give a shit about it. Like, and it's taken a long time for me to admit and apologize to the people that has hurt what I did, because it was so damaging to pretty much every relationship that I had in my life except for one. But like that choice that I made is still it's still something that's affected me, because now I'm in this really awkward transitional period where I'm trying to, for some reason, because I did it so long, tell myself shit like it's okay to go see your family for Christmas, man. Don't stress out about streaming. Or, it's all right to, like today, I was supposed to get back on and play Mass Effect before we did this, but my voice was absolutely shredded. And that used to gut me, and I would be like, "Oh my god, I'm not streaming right now." But I'm starting to be like, okay, like your broadcast isn't going to be quality. Is it really worth being out there?
For me, it's not the same because I still do every single day. I don't take days off, but I have made one compromise, which is I don't like. It's dumb because I talked about it like on the podcast like a few times ago. I think it's when you start streaming, where I said don't set like time goals for how long your stream should be.
Yeah,
I still was doing that when I said that. Like not always, but there were some days where I'm like I haven't streamed X amount of time. Keep going. That has happened. I've let that go more or less. I've had streams that have been 4 hours, 5 hours versus like I want to always have like 8 because it's funny. So last year, I think it was 2110. So I did 2,110 hours of streaming last year. That just I don't know how that includes like half hours and stuff, because the way I calculated it was total amount of hours per day in the month. So like I don't know how that was, because that could be way less. So I don't know. So we're gonna say it's 2,100 hours about last year. My goal this year is 2,500. Yeah. That's like not like something I'm actually pursuing, but I think about it once or twice.
Last year I streamed 2,600 hours, and the month where I streamed the most hours per week was September, and that was 72 hours a week. And all that stuff doesn't include, like, you have to think about, like, when someone says this is how much I'm streaming, that's like actual on camera time. That doesn't include like setup time,
exactly,
any editing they might do on YouTube videos, any broadcast overlay setups or software changes they might be dealing with.
Research, fucking, there's so many things you could put in that category. Like this,
so much falls into the category of work, and it's so easy to overwork yourself because it's something that you love. But eventually, you have to make the choice to take your life and make it balanced. It's something for us, me and T-Rex, our dad always said you have to live life with margin. Like, you can't constantly be writing with a pencil from one side of the page to the other and not leave any spaces, because then it's like impossible to read and it's just hectic and frantic and it stresses you out.
Yeah. He also said if you're not growing, you're dying. So
Yeah, but then from the
thanks,
same
Dad,
from the-
for
from the mouth of the
conflicting
same
messages.
man. Yeah, from the mouth of the same man, he's like, "Oh, if you're doing a business and it's not growing, then it's dead," which is a terrible way to approach Twitch, by the way. So it's really easy to log really long hours because you just get like sucked into whatever it is that you're doing. So it's really important to kind of set up safeguards for yourself so that way you know when to stop.
Yeah.
Like T-Rex pointed out, the whole tracking your hours thing. And I think that it's good to be like, okay, this is my goal for the day. Like setting a goal to say, I want to stream 6 hours today minimum, and say, okay, I'm going to do it. And you check and it's 4 hours. And then you're like, okay, I got to go 2 more hours. Like I need to do this. I need to put in the time. But at the same time, it's also a good idea to put in a break point to say like, okay, no matter how much fun I'm having, no matter what I love that I'm doing, I'm going to be worthless tomorrow unless I stop at 9 hours. That's what I wish that I would have done when I started broadcasting, because I used to stream from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep. And I did that for like 6 months, 16 to 18 hour days.
It was a long time.
It was horrible for me. I literally woke up, streamed, went to the gym, lifted, and then went to bed.
I have a question
but pizza.
about that. So that was when we were in
That's when I was living in Indiana.
was it Indiana?
Mm-hmm.
This is a personal question.
Sure.
Are you okay with it?
You can ask me whatever personal question you want.
All right. Do you think I've always wanted to ask you too? I never really have. Did you stream a lot because of the relationship with Christina?
For those of you who are new to the podcast,
yes,
and you're new to our lives, Sam and I are both really open people, and we like to be extremely honest with you guys. So occasionally you'll get a peek behind the curtain here. So Sam is asking me about my ex-wife. So one of the reasons she was not the reason that I streamed so much. Like I streamed so much.
I was just curious if I
loved streaming.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like an escapist thing, like fuck this bitch, I'm out. But I would definitely say that after she left, part of me coping was streaming that much.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I never asked that
it's a valid point, because there are also things in your life that are going to happen and they're going to change. And it's really easy to kind of go overboard because you're having an emotional experience. Like, so a lot of people when they go through a negative, when they go through something bad, whether it's like someone in their family dies, go through a divorce, someone gets chronically ill, they throw themselves into work. And it's so easy. It's always easy to justify working a lot, right? Like, who's going to get on you? Like, dude, you're working too much. Everyone, like, especially with the American culture, it's like, yeah, dude, he's on his grind, fucking 90 hours a week. Wish I could work that hard. But you don't see what's going on behind the scenes. Like for me, when I was working that much, you didn't see the fact that I was like malnourished. I wasn't sleeping. I was drinking constantly. I was just treating myself like garbage, So like part of it's, at least if you're an American and you're viewing this, like you have this whole culture of working too much that really feeds into the, oh yeah, man, stream as much as you want. You're trying to make your dream work for you. And to a point that's healthy, but there's definitely a spot where you can go past it and it starts to injure you.
I mean, then you have on top of that, I didn't think about like how American culture could really feed into that. Because I guess I don't watch a lot of I don't watch a lot of non-American broadcasters outside of like Cody and then a couple of UK folks. So maybe and they're not. So prospectively, I see a lot more American life, like normal streamers than UK. Not American being normal, but like normally I phrased that poorly. You get my point. That's what I watch. And I feel like I see it in them too. I wonder, and then you have Twitch culture preaching the same thing too, about like if you want to see it on Twitch, and even us, we're saying stream. It's such like an impossible balance, man.
It is. It's really, and I guess that's why this is if people are watching through all these, they'll be like, wow, these guys are huge hypocrites.
we are. We are. We're just trying to
and-
tell you how not to fuck up like we do on a constant, normal basis.
Because and I guess that it all comes down to the fact that the Twitch, just like an entertainment career, is this huge dice roll, and you want to try and roll that dice as much as you can.
Yeah.
You know, you want to try and take as many chances as you can, but at the same time, you need to know when to stand up and walk away from the table.
Yeah.
Like that was for me, like my first 2 years with Twitch, I would definitely describe streaming as like an addiction. And it's great. It turned into a great career, and I love it, and the people in my life and everything, and it's amazing. I'm not trying to say that it was bad I'm not trying to say that Twitch was inherently bad. I'm saying that I was addicted to it. Addiction is defined by its negative effect on your person. Like that's how you define an addiction. And Twitch and streaming had a negative effect on my person. You know, I put on weight, I lost shape. I put on weight, I got out of shape. You know, and I put all my entire life, I cut off all my relationship with my family and friends. Does it start to sound like an addict yet? You know, like I literally cloistered myself off with my addiction. You know, so it's hard, man. It's such a tightrope walk, man. It is such a tightrope walk to stream and do it as a career from a lifestyle standpoint, because there will come a point when you're broadcasting that you're going to get like a little sniff of the good stuff and you're going to be like, I want more. Like, and it's so difficult to kind of step back from that. Would you agree, T?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I'd agree 100%. And I mean, for sure, when you feel like you have like that one, like even sometimes happened to me. It's happened to me numerous times in the past couple months where I feel like this is a really good cast, and then I'm like, it's been 16 hours.
yeah.
Like, there's been that, and then it's funny because there's that comment in chat that says, "Well, it's good to be casting. You need to take a break. If you're not rested mentally and physically, you'll burn out, even if you know what you're doing." I agree with you, and I disagree with you. Like, it's so
Solid point, and there's a fallacy in there too. It's so hard.
Like, that's why I guess to each their own. Everyone has different limits and different things they can do. Like, I haven't taken a break in quite a long time, and you know, from actually, you know, doing daily streaming. The only time I really ever take days off is when I'm traveling, and that's not because I want to. It's because I'm going home for Christmas or, you know, stuff like that. So if there was no conventions, if there was no family in my life, you would see me probably literally every single day. And I've been doing this long enough to know that I could probably keep doing it for numerous years before I felt like I can't do this anymore. And I guess the way I balance that is by like I said, you know, I don't put timestamps on my broadcasts. At least I try not to anymore. To where if I said to myself every single day, you will stream 8 hours or you are a failure, then it'd be a different story. But like, Twitch entertainment is so hard. If you're not doing it all the time or you're taking breaks, it's ugh.
It's rough. I think that there's a really good nugget of genius in chat. It says it's really easy to self-assess the quality of your stream, and it's very difficult to self-assess the quality of your life.
Yeah.
Just like with anything, any career path, it's so easy to get lost in it when you really want to chase it down. Like whether you want to be a surgeon or you want to be a streamer or you want to be, you know, a musician. Like it's so easy to just spend hours and hours and hours on this thing that you love and forget about like maybe the things that love you, the people that love you, what you used to enjoy doing. Like right now, I know in my life, like I am currently in the process of kind of reclaiming my lifestyle back from, you know, the horrible, wretched mess that it was. Like even when I met Amy, who's my fiance, even when I met Amy, I was still in a place where my life was a complete mess and shambles, and I can't believe she stayed with me. But you know, she was super busy too, so we just kind of like met each other as it was possible. But you know, like I'm in the process of reclaiming my time, you know, taking one day off every week, not forcing myself to stream so many hours the way that I used to, and trying to enjoy life again, because you know, life informs art, and if you look at streaming as entertaining, it is an art form. And if you have no life, you will have no way to create art. And I've definitely felt that like kind of personal drought before. How about you, T-Rex?
It's funny you mention that because I was just thinking to myself, I felt like I was a much better caster. There's a time where I felt like I still feel I was really garbage. It's awful.
Yeah.
And I felt that way But I thought about it a few times to where I feel like I didn't have anything to talk about because I was not experiencing anything else.
Yeah.
Besides what I was doing. So now I'm like, I'm watching TV, I'm watching sports, I'm reading the news, I'm listening to more music. Like,
Yeah.
Work can make you a broad person, a boring block of wood. And in something like this, to where at least me, I thrive off being able to have great conversations, even about, stupid stuff like, man, fuck Skittles. Like,
Yeah, right.
But I have stories and I can talk and I can be a person, and it's gotten better for sure to where I'm seeing more things and I'm doing more things, but I don't know. I just don't know. It's such an impossible balance that I think I'm still trying to learn. And there was a thing I want to see right here. I wanted to touch on it.
Yeah.
Where was it? There's a great comment I wanted to comment on. Basically, what was saying was they're like what T-Rex and Rowan are saying is that you should stream as much as you can while remaining healthy and maintain a healthy lifestyle if you want to be successful. And like to a degree, I would agree. And I don't advocate doing what we did because it was stupid. And I would say we are lucky that we didn't destroy our lives
Absolutely.
in the meantime, but it also got me where I am. So it's.
I mean,
Do you think that's a comment about Twitch in general? That like, do you think that for a majority of people who want to make it on Twitch, that there's just not enough avenues?
It's rough, but I mean, like, I go back and forth for at least when I give people advice. They're like, I want to make it on Twitch. I had we had a really frank conversation on my stream a few days ago. Someone's like, I want to make it on Twitch, but I got all these things. I'm thinking about proposing to my girlfriend. I was like, how bad do you want to make it on Twitch? She was like, more than anything. And I was like, then break up with your girlfriend. Because like the time commitment necessary, it seems as if the time commitment necessary to get your stream up and going is so massive that there's just no way to commit that much time without having some sort of personal, like some sort of damage happen, some sort of loss happen, and that's really difficult. Like it sucks. Like on one hand, I want to say like, try and live your life in a balanced way and grow your channel on your terms, which is honestly, I think that that's the best way to do it, is to grow your channel on your terms. If you want to know, I have someone who is a perfect example of this, and I love them, and they were someone I consider a friend and a mentor to me.
I know who it is. Can I say who it is?
It's Cherno.
Ah.
Did you know that?
I was actually going to say someone else, but that's a great one too.
Cherno, if you guys don't know, Cherno_TV or Cherno TV is a broadcaster here on Twitch. He is actually my longest sub, and Cherno has a pretty solid schedule, and it's not lengthy and it's not drawn out, and he just streams when he wants to and takes times off when he wants to, and is in his entire he didn't change anything about himself. And he's such a solid, shining example of a person who's like, this is who I am. Do you like me, Twitch? And he didn't try and change. Yeah, man. He's not someone who tried to change to make Twitch work. And I think that it's so admirable. So admirable what he did. And I still find myself going back to conversations I had with him when I was starting, and pulling advice out of those conversations for myself right now, which is just nuts.
Yeah.
Who did you think I was going to say, T-Rex?
I was going to say Dance Gaming, because Dan started from nowhere,
also
and he didn't change who he was. He did what he wanted to do, and then just took it at his own pace. He linked an article, it was on his Twitter, where it was from his one of his first blog posts, to where he was talking about 4 years ago. He was discouraged, but he was like, I see people like SwiftTor and these other people. He was mentioning this other broadcasters who's still around today. And he's like, I'm inspired because they made it. I can be there too. And he said he knew that they didn't get there overnight. They got there by busting their ass and breaking their backs every single day, trying to do their best. And I thought that, that's a good example too. So I guess it's something I'm still trying to figure out, and I think at the end of the day, it depends on who you are as a person. What can you sacrifice without breaking, without changing for in a negative fashion? Everyone changes. The question I saw in chat was, should I change yourself with Twitch? No. Well, but Twitch will change you.
I mean, if you want to talk about something that's going to take a toll on your mental and physical health, being someone that you are not on stream constantly is exhausting.
Would you like to know what happens to those people? Look at method actors.
Method actors get man. They go insane.
Not to speak ill of the dead, but look at
Joker.
Heath Ledger. Yeah, exactly. I was like, look at Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
That's what happened to him, man. Like he was so invested in his character
become you.
Yeah. So or what does it do to you? You know,
what does it do to you mentally?
So there's that. But for sure, and there's no way we could possibly ever say this is what will work for you. All we can say is this is what worked for us. This is the stuff we really, really royally screwed up on. And if I could go back, I'd hopefully change it.
Yeah.
Though I don't know at this point. I don't know. It's so because I know I end up where I am. So it's I made it somehow.
Yeah. It's the path that you take.
Yeah.
And that's the only one that you know. I think that another really good question I saw in chat was, what advice would you have for a married couple that wanted to tackle streaming?
Yeah, I saw Boog say that, yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about a relationship that has the potential to be stable enough to withstand that kind of investment, it would be a marriage, you know? And if you work together and you have an agreement on like who's streaming when and all this other stuff, I think it could go really, really well. There is an example that unfortunately ended very poorly due to external things to the stream. There was a couple that when Mario Kart 8 launched, they did a streamathon or a subathon, and they streamed, I think it was 12-hour shifts in this subathon for like 45 days. And their channel exploded. And it was a perfect example of seeing a team, a couple work together on one channel to make it grow and to see all this other stuff like kind of flourish out of it. Unfortunately, due to some things that happened outside of the streaming world, they broke up and their channel died. But yeah, it works. It's definitely something that can work out.
Mm-hmm. So that's okay. So we've talked about literal physical stuff. We talked about other physical stuff. Yeah. We've touched on like work ethic. Do you want to talk about like I guess we're already there, but like the emotional side of things, about like the emotional toll of streaming.
The emotional toll.
Yeah.
Well, we want to talk about
this is probably a bit different for me than for you because I'm a mess.
I would say, I think that one of the hardest things to do, at least for me, is like work-life balance and separation. Like I don't know how to I don't know how to turn off at the end of the day, and that's something that Amy has been so patient, and we've been working together on it. But it takes like this focused effort to get my brain to stop thinking about streaming and all this stream stuff, and like how could I tweak this channel, or like I don't understand why my numbers were different today, and also there's stuff, and I'm just so focused on it, and it's like some days I feel like the crazy mad scientist like sitting on his desk.
I get that.
And Amy has to literally like grab my head and bang it into the desk and say, "Let's go outside."
Can you watch Twitch anymore?
It's difficult for me to watch Twitch. It's difficult for me to watch one channel for like more than 20 minutes.
Same. I would say it's difficult to even watch channels anymore. And that's not anyone's fault or one's bad. It's just all I can think of is I could be doing that. That's one. That's a huge one. Is I could be streaming right now. Yeah. On top of that, it's the measuring that always seems to happen when I do that too. I'll pay attention to their metrics.
Yourself to someone else, like, well, that guy just got a whole bunch of follows.
Yeah,
I was
Yes.
streaming, I could have got a sub.
Yeah,
Like
that
it's
stuff
really
too.
it's really hard to flick that switch off. Like really, really difficult. It's true, man.
Just want to read this real quick. I think it's important to the Twitch community for viewers to maybe lower the expectations of streamers. For now, there's an unrealistic bar that is set. People expect streamers to help everyone watching, especially on streamers who do carries in the Destiny community. Without going into it, you set the precedent for your channel. I have never done carries on my channel, so no one expects it. But if you do it all the time, you set yourself up for that. So be careful when you're building your channel. It's the exact same thing as your schedule. Do you want to be doing what you're doing on your stream every single day? Whether it's a game or anything like that. That's the same kind of emotional toll. So if you are doing something that's like a one-time thing, make it clear this was a one-time thing. It was for fun. But if you're doing it all the time, they're not going to see the difference, which is huge.
True.
So that was that.
Well, no, I mean it's a solid point. Like expectations are something that you set. Like T-Rex and I both stream a lot of Destiny, and part of doing stuff with Destiny and streaming it on Twitch is assisting your community in performing activities or whatever they might be. So like for a long time,
Is it though?
When the Kings fall, what do you mean? I mean, I think
Is it your or mine or anyone's responsibility to be like, I'm going to now carry viewers, help viewers, or help not in this not in the sense of like I tell you what to do, but like I will take you into my fold with my teammates and do a thing with you.
With things, yeah. That's and I guess that's for me, like it's a culture thing. Like it depends on what you're doing. A lot of people, I guess the Destiny community is unique in that there is this expectation of every streamer to be able to perform every activity at a level.
Oh, of a
they
different
are able
streamer
to
too.
assist any viewer, regardless of skill, to complete. And
That's dumb.
That is an unfair expectation, and it breeds a lot of negativity. But I would say for me, like setting the weather on your channel, like there are certain things that I have just never done on my channel because I knew the second that I opened that door, that's all I would be hearing about for months and months and months and months. If you do one thing, people begin to expect it all the time. And unless you're really clear, or let's say you have a lot of variety on your stream, people are not going to understand. People who aren't your regulars will not understand the changes.
I would say too. On top of that, like when you're choosing content for your channels, this is not like how to grow your channel. This is strictly how it affects you, personally, and what you can and can't deal with. If there's something that you don't like doing, here's something I dislike, and I notice it a lot, and I sometimes do it. So this is, I guess, pot kettle, whatever. It is really obvious if you are not enjoying what you are doing.
Totally.
Like, you can say whatever words come out of your mouth, more often than not, it's if people that have a basic sense of understanding how faces work, tone,
you can tell when you're
body, everything. They're going to know when you're not liking something or that you're annoyed, because that's what people do, especially on the internet. They pick up on it quick.
So quick.
So I really dislike it when I see a streamer who is like, guys, I'm fine. Guys, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm having a great time. This is so much fun. Do you know how much fun we're having? It's so much fun. I just like 10 out of 10 fun right now. It's so guys, we're having fun. Like to where I can tell like that's what they want, but that's not actually happening. That's why like I know sometimes when we get frustrated during raids, I'll start fucking talking about dumb shit. Cuz then we all talk about the dumb shit and then we're all having a good time all of a sudden. And it's genuine. Exactly. And like but there's some people that try to force it and it comes across as force, and I just do not like watching it.
We're having fun, okay?
Like it's something like that. And I've had to do with XCOM sometimes too, where I'm like, this mission, I want to stream more, but
fuck, I'm angry. Yeah,
I am mad at the 2% miss right now, or the 2% hit, like stuff like that, and so that's not me talking about a specific person, guys. Everyone has been there. I sometimes do it too.
Everywhere on Twitch, I've done it. T-Rex has done it.
Yeah. Like I said, that's
where you watch that you've been like, yo, are you mad right now? And they're like, no, I'm not mad.
Like, and that's why I'm saying that's not me. I'm not trying to call anybody out. Why does it always have to be that, Chad? Please.
Everyone streams mad.
Yeah. So it's just, So I would encourage you, don't if there's something that you don't like doing or you're not good at, and you can't handle the pressure of being ridiculed, or anything like that, or you don't know of a good way of like compartmentalizing or a good way to handle it, then just don't do it. Don't push yourself through that.
Force
There's
yourself
no
to do
reason to.
anything that you don't want to do.
That's honestly why I don't do a lot of carry stuff on my channels. I don't want to get judged that way. Like, I just want to have fun. That's why, like, oh, T-Rex, why aren't you playing Trials viewers? Because I'm like, dude, did you fucking see my 17.0 KD in Mayhem on a Striker Titan? Eat dicks. Like, I'm having fun in a different place. You don't have to be doing whatever else is doing.
Absolutely.
If you believe in your quality as a caster and stuff like that. That was something that was huge, too. This goes back to what I want to talk about with very start. Yeah. This is, I guess, kind of, we're all over the place.
No, it's fine, man. Like, these conversations are so freeform. It's really difficult.
Yeah.
This stuff comes up.
Yeah. So recently I figured out exactly what I want out of Twitch. I know exactly what it is I want. And for a long time, it was like, well, I want subscribers. I want viewers. I want this. I want that. And now I feel like I want this. The thing I care most about Twitch is that I'm putting on the best show for the most amount of people possible. That is the only thing I ever want. So if me not playing something that gives me 700 more viewers versus, so if I have like 1,500 versus 1,000 and I'm doing the 1,000 one as a better cast, I want to do the 1,000 with a better cast. That's I feel like I've made that choice now, to where like that's why I'm doing so much XCOM, because it's a great game and I feel like I do really good casts with it, and I feel inspired and I'm ravenous to do more of it, and I'm excited again. It lit a fire under my ass, you know, to where I think that's another thing too is if you want to do casting, and this country somebody's doing for almost a year and a half, 2 years now, and I'm just now like, this is what I want, and it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
But if you have something that you want to do on Twitch or experience or be a part of that makes you excited, do that thing. Holy shit, do that thing. It makes you feel way better during your cast. I promise. I promise you. And you may think, well, of course, T-Rex. That makes fucking perfect sense. You say that until you're at the point to where, like, well, with the 1,500 viewers, you have a higher potential for subs and business. And then, but on the other hand, you're like, but I also don't
torture, man.
And I also don't want to, like, you know, kill myself with 1,000 viewers. And I don't use that term lightly, by the way.
T-Rex does not use that term lightly.
So,
but it is absolutely, it isn't. Mental health is imperative while you're streaming, and not forcing yourself to do things you don't want to is extremely important. Because you will burn yourself out mentally so fast. Like for me, I used to always give a shit about going flawless in Trials of Osiris, and I would let it get me mad. I would always give a shit, and now I stopped giving a shit, and I have a ton more fun. Right? Yeah. Like I don't care. It's competitive PvP. I'm bad at it. I still want to play it so I can get some of the rewards, so I do it.
Business killed communities on Twitch? That's not true.
That's not true at all. Yeah, lower statistics aren't work. Yeah, I had flawless fun today. I died and I laughed at how bad I was the entire time, and it was
nice.
Great. You know, and that's what really counts. That's what counts at the end of the day is having a good time. Because when you and this is, we'll bring it all around. Here we go, guys. When you are happy, when you're healthy, and when you're feeling actualized as a person, you're going to have a better broadcast, period. You're going to be more inspiring. You're going to be more funny. You're going to be more focused. If you're competitive, you know, you're going to have better recall, better interaction with chat, and an overall better mood.
Yeah.
These two things, health and lifestyle choices, are so, they are the two most important things in your life, and they directly affect what's on camera, and they never seem to be considered or talked about when you're designing your channel. So it takes a long time and a lot of practice to on your channel deal with things like negativity and trolls and all this other stuff, which we still haven't really talked about. We haven't done a cast on that. But it's so much more difficult to develop the mental fortitude and like the switches and pathways in your life where you can be like, okay, done streaming, time for normal, you know, things now. Time to watch a baseball game.
To turn off.
Time to hang out with my fiance. Time to watch a movie. Time to work out.
Yeah.
It is so Very, very important. So we're coming to the end of the broadcast here, guys.
Are we?
Or we're coming to the part of the broadcast where we're going to take questions.
Oh. I was like, I feel like we're nowhere near done.
So we are currently in the question and answer phase. So if you guys have, we'll keep talking, but if you have any questions, feel free to tweet me at Professor Broman or T-Rex at the T-Rex or both of us. Any questions you might have regarding health and lifestyle and streaming.
Well, I mean, we have to right there. Talk about what you want, though. It's a really good business move to stream a game that isn't popular as Destiny per se. Like, I love playing some smaller community-like games, but my channel wouldn't get anywhere because of it, correct, T-Rex?
Incorrect.
You're not. I mean, you're wrong and you're not wrong. Your chance of exposure is higher in a larger directory. That's business. But to say that it's impossible to do the other one is also false. You never know who's watching. Like it's just like performing in a small club. It's like, oh, I'm always going to sign up to get on, Madison Square Garden. One day I'll get in. But, playing at local bar, whatever the heck, every few nights or so, you never know who's going to show up. All it takes is, like, one time we're like, oh, man, did you guys know that so-and-so who plays this game in his free time, like, lurked in my stream, and then he raided me? Like, it's one of those incomparable questions to where
you never know who's
you just
watching.
Never know.
Never know who's watching, man.
I would say we both got really lucky that we fell in love with a game that was brand new, totally. and that I still enjoy playing it. I also play it on my terms. There's only specific things I do with it, so it's one of those things. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't kill yourself, trying to do one thing when you really want to do something else. Like if you don't want to play a specific game because it's just popular, and honestly, if the game is that popular and you're at the bottom, you have no chance anyways. I don't mean to be rude, but that's the truth. I've been there. I have tried streaming games that everyone else is streaming. There's no point some days.
Yeah, it's rough. All right, so we got a few really good questions that came up first. This is kind of regarding emotional health. How thick-skinned do you feel a streamer needs to be able to survive and succeed on Twitch? I don't necessarily think it's 100% about how thick your skin is. I think it's a combination of two things. You could be a powerhouse and just tank, to use the gaming metaphor, just tank all of the insults, or you could be witty and make everything into a joke. But I would say either way, if you don't have it when you start, you need to develop it to finish. You have to develop it to finish, for sure. It's very important.
Yeah. Would you all stream as much as you physically, especially financially, if there was no monetization? I mean, no, because this is my job. That'd be a different question if I had it. Like I don't think either of us can answer that question honestly, because this is our job. So,
yeah,
a life where I don't get paid for doing this means I don't have one. So that's an impossible question to answer. At this point, at least. If you asked me 18 months ago, might be a different answer, but, all that stuff's different.
Yeah. Okay, T-Rex, Professor Broman. What if you're having a good time and you don't want to abandon your viewers? How do you keep your sanity? Leave on a high note, man. If everyone is having an awesome time and you leave in the middle of that, that's leaving on a high note, and it's putting a good impression in people's minds. You're like, shit, I want to come back tomorrow because, man, that shit was awesome. I don't think there's anything wrong with leaving when everyone's super hyped. Like right after I finished trials with Mr. Fruit today, really hype. Everyone was having a great time, but I still walked away because I needed a break, and it left a good impression on everyone as the stream ended. You know what I mean? You have to realize that there is a positive. You got to look at the positive of the choices that you're making, and that's been one of the hardest things for me is looking at the positive of all the positive side of all the choices that I've been making, because you can look at that and be like, I'm abandoning them and now this broadcast could have been better, but I left early. You can look at it that way. You can also look at it like, man, what a great lasting impression I'm putting on all of these people by leaving.
Yeah.
In addition, apparently I read this wrong. The question apparently said, what if you're not having a good time, but you don't want to abandon your viewers? I would say make an excuse and get out. I mean, like, there's nothing, and or just be honest. Say like, look, guys, I'm really frustrated right now. I don't want to dump this on you, I'll come back in 30 minutes.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with being honest.
This is a pretty obvious one. This is kind of like dealing with trolls in general. But how thick-skinned do you feel a streamer needs to be to survive success on Twitch? Captain Flint.
I talked about that one.
I know, but like, I want to.
You want to hit it up too? Okay. Good.
Yeah, because I mean, specifically, like, because I have a different perspective than you do. Because you've more or less always had a thick skin. Because you got teased all the time when you were younger. I didn't.
Yeah.
You know, I was very sensitive growing up. To a degree, still am sometimes. But specifically for me, like, I mean, I would say don't approach it. But for me, it gave me thick skin. If it's something you want to do, I would say don't let that stop you. I became a more bold and courageous person who has better self-esteem than I did before I did this, 100%. So if that is a thing for you, then you can try it, but just don't let it hold you back. Because for me, if I had to deal with what I'm dealing with now, before I had all this thick skin, it would destroy me. But if you go from start to finish, you're probably going to end up stronger on the other side, so it's kind of irrelevant. That's what I would say about it. Don't let it discourage you. Try to use it as a strengthening tool, iron on iron, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Oh man, so good.
What about physical exercise? Isn't that a big aspect of health, and one is super sedentary? Hard for me to say, because I don't get a lot of exercise. I try to. I suck at it. I'm the worst. But I'm busy doing one thing. Like,
this is
I
a
know I
podcast
should
about
be.
streaming.
I
My
know that I
advice
should.
about
just
fitness
not.
is find a fitness thing that you enjoy and make sure you do it.
Yeah, like there's not much to talk about.
Any other job, yeah.
Because it is a no-brainer. It is something I should be doing. I should also eat better. That's across the board, no matter what job you're doing. But there's a lot of days where I'm tired. I don't want to, and I feel like I'm busy as is. That I've had to cut off some things that I used to enjoy that I should be doing, and I don't take care of myself as well as I should. I'm well aware of it, and it's something I hopefully can work on. But right now, my body's holding up as is, and I'm maybe not saying the greatest things, but you know, that is what it is, at least for me. I'm well aware, but I'm also young, but I know I won't be young forever. What else we got?
There's a lot. I'm trying to answer some of these on Twitter as they're coming in, when they're kind of one sentence answers that don't lead to a discussion. Has streaming on Twitch made you a happier person? I would say it's made me a happier person because I feel fulfilled every day.
Man.
But, you know, like we said, it's a double-edged sword. It also adds a lot of stress, but that's the same as any job, so it's not really a point of complaint.
I don't know. It's different for me. I am the happiest and saddest that I feel like I've ever been in my entire life. To where I feel like every single, week or month, I have the highest highs and the lowest lows back to back over and over again, to where it's a constant battle for me, at least, to where I feel like constantly I am hands down my own worst enemy when it comes to feeling like a piece of shit, to where more often than not, I mean, there's days, it happened like 3 days ago, where it'll be like 4 a.m, I'll be sitting on my fucking living room floor being like, I suck. This is the worst. I am the worst streamer to ever be in existence. That happens frequently for me.
Yeah.
It does, dude. Like, it's a huge thing for me that I deal with all the fucking time, to where I don't have an answer for it. I mean, on one hand, people would be like, I would kill me where T-Rex is at. He has, this many followers. He could pull this many viewers. He could play this game and get these viewers. But it's like, I don't know, man. I always want more, and I always see others doing whatever the thing, and I know we're not the same person, but I'm like, damn, I feel like I feel like a failure. It happens all the time, no matter how successful you get, all that kind of stuff. Why am I so far and alone? It's been that. Let me tell you a story about, and we'll share this real quick. You want more mental health background? When I tried out of college, I thought I was going to kill myself. I called my brother. Ben told me to go to a mental hospital, and I did. I've been alone, at least I've had that feeling my entire life. No matter what, it's always been there, just aching. I am the loneliest person in a room full of 100 people. no matter what. I'm not trying to ask for love, guys. I'm just being honest. Like, to where it's one of those things to where I feel like streaming and chasing your dreams is the most isolating experience you can ever do in your entire life. That, you know, all that kind of stuff. To where, you know, all you see is what you want. And then once you get it at the cost of getting what you once wanted, but that's changed now. So I don't know, man. Like, I am the happiest and most unhappy I've ever been in my entire life. And I don't know of a good way to fix that. I'm trying to take it one day at a time. And like I said, put on the best broadcast that I can. Because that's when I feel the best. When I feel like I am representing who I truly want to be. Which is a energetic, happy, caring, ideally funny individual. But that's not how it always is, you know? That's who I want to be. So that's what I work towards. So if you feel that way, I don't know. I wish I could help you. But how can I help you if I can't even fucking help myself, you know? So yeah. It is whatever. That was a tangent. Shit.
There's a really good question from Hollow Knowledge, and it kind of feeds into this broadcast thing. Do you channel negative shows as learning tools, or do you try and leave them behind? I always try and learn something from any negative broadcast that I have. Usually for me, it was I should have pulled the plug 30 minutes before whatever negative event happened. But I like to try and learn and then move on.
I abandon them. I critique myself enough as is. I don't need bad casts to tell me what I could have done better. I already know what I could have done better, kind of thing. I think it depends on who you are. It depends on how you learn, too, as well, and how like it's not. What's the way to put this? Self-aware is not the right word, but how critical you are on yourself at all times, which, you know, can lead to my situation, kind of thing. What else we got? Fucking. With gaining celebrity, and I'm gonna put that in the biggest quotes possible. You guys ready for that? The biggest quotes. Okay. With gaining celebrity, how can you balance going to events and hanging out with friends and interacting with the community altogether? From the RSS feeds. For me, I don't. I only have a few friends in town, and honestly, they're just as busy as I am most of the time. They travel and they do all that kind of stuff. To where I feel like when you're doing something you like so much, those things matter a little bit less. To where, like, I know when I was in high school, I'd be like, oh, I didn't get invited, or I didn't get to go to the party. Brr. Now I'm just like, oh, good, I didn't get invited to the party. I can work more. So I mean, balancing it, it's kind of the same thing. A lot of these, it's tough to say because a lot of these are what you can handle and what you need to live. Yeah. Do you need like once a week hang out with your friends to live? Then you need to fuck conventions and hang out with your friends. Like that's the life balance for everyone is so difficult because everyone has different needs.
Yeah. We come back to it every broadcast, but that's the point of these broadcasts, and it's such a strong point. Is, you know, we have this full discussion, but at the end of it, we hope that you listen to the discussion and then you have it with yourself, because you are the ultimate decision maker on what you can and can't handle when it comes to everything as a broadcaster. Time put in, things you need, things you don't need, things you want, things you don't want.
Yeah.
It's all about what you can handle personally. We're just trying to present the information to you and say, look at what can happen. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's very much a what do you think, because neither one of us, T-Rex and I, and we started doing this with this huge concern that people would assume that we're speaking like we're authoritative, and we're not. We're two guys that are feeling around in the dark, just like everyone else when it comes to this Twitch thing. You know, we've maybe been doing it a little bit longer, or a little bit we're at a little bit higher level than other folks.
Yeah.
You think it's okay for Twitch to be your escape from real life, or to be your real life? I mean, it's really difficult. Amberlash, I think that for me, I escaped into Twitch for a period of my life, and I'm still kind of in the process of coming out of that. and making friends in real life. I definitely believe that you can make real, true, and honest friends online. But at the same time, I really think that you need to work towards maybe meeting those people in real life as well, because you need physical contact with people in a non-digital environment. But you can definitely make real lasting friendships online. I know I have. I know you have. I know I have.
Feel like that's an obvious thing I typed in chat.
Don't do drugs to solve your problems ever.
Yeah, weed. No matter how weed can be an addiction too. Doesn't matter how nice it is. Just like fucking, I don't know, washing your hands can be an addiction if you have an OCD. Like, just don't. If you're handling problems by doing drugs or doing anything, then not handling the problem, you're not doing it right.
How do
I've
you?
been there.
It's a good question. How do you deal lifestyle-wise? How do you deal with friends and family and explaining the whole Twitch thing? I feel like I get weird, crazy when I do that. Don't talk about it until there's something good to talk about.
Ooh, that's a great one. Yeah, you don't really.
I need to be arguing your point with anyone. If it's your dream, it's your dream. But I would say wait until you have an example, like a moment of transcendence that everyone can understand, regardless of whether or not they understand Twitch. Like for me, I have 2 or 3 moments like that I reference to people when they give me the crazy eyes. I talk about, the charity work that we do, and I say, we've built a strong community here. We raise a lot of money for charity. We've raised money for Prevent Cancer Foundation. We've raised money for Operation Supply Drop, which is a military charity, and we've raised money for Doctors Without Borders. People immediately respect those things. And you can say, yeah, like I did this one stream where we raised $15,000 for Operation Supply Drop, and people are like, damn, that's awesome. Okay, I can respect what you do. But I would say don't talk about it until there's something to talk about. I really would, because otherwise you're just going to be arguing in a circle, and it sucks.
Yeah. On top of that, I mean, I know the example that I used to use would be the AGDQ for, when we were speedrunning and stuff. Like, what do you do when you speedrun? I'm like, I speedrun video games. What do you mean? I mean, like, yeah, I go fast. Well, why would you want to do that? Because we raised $1 million for the Advanced Cancer Foundation, so you can blow it out your ass. Kind of thing. I know that helped out a lot.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing. Charity. But yeah, exactly. Having something to show off. I know Ben didn't really talk about streaming a whole lot until after you got partnered. I remember exactly where I was when I had that conversation with you on my phone. I was in the dining room next to the big old brown wooden table. And you were like, I can't wait to tell Mom and Dad. And you were so excited about it.
Yeah.
You were fucking stoked.
Yeah. Yeah, so like when you have those moments, it makes it so much easier. Let's see. After everything you guys have been through, is there anything you would have changed? I mean, that is essentially what this entire podcast series is about. So keep watching every week. Yeah, man. Keep watching every week.
Yep.
For sure, man. For sure.
Oh
my God. So many good questions. I've been trying to answer a lot of the ones that have been tweeted to me that are answerable via Twitter.
No, just talk about them. Better than dead air.
Oh, no, I mean, it's not dead air. It's just like stuff that's not related.
Just clickety clacketing.
Some guy asked about how we handle threats on our channels.
That's what I wanted to see. Yeah.
That one's a good one. But the only thing I want to say about that is next week we're doing that is our plan is to do safety and security next week. And dealing with threats is part of that.
There you go.
I will tell you that from a mental health perspective, I think the healthiest thing to do with threats from a mental health perspective is to deal with them if you deem them appropriate, deal with them and then move on. Dwelling on them is just going to destroy you. Okay, how do you deal with personal and professional and keep them separate?
Or do they intermingle?
Or does it help to intermingle it? I would say I tried intermingling them and it went very poorly. I would recommend keeping them separate as possible.
Yeah.
I would.
I think we
recommend-
talked about that earlier a little bit about, trying to turn off. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you are who you are. And if you are a Twitch streamer, it's kind of, if you internalize it, that's who you always are. So that's how you're going to, that is now your rose-colored lens. What I would hopefully encourage you, though, is you go back to your neutral lens of, like, I just want to sit back and enjoy something. Not everything has to be about business. Especially when it comes to friends and family. Especially if you're related and you do the same thing.
Yep.
I feel like that could go really poorly if you don't, I don't know, if you don't disperse the two.
Mm-hmm.
I have I guess to a degree, Ben and I are business partners, but we're brothers first, 100% of the time.
Yeah.
I would say as long as you keep that kind of healthy balance, that you're not going to have a problem between having the intermingling cause issues. It's harder. I would say it's been harder with friends. Like if you have someone who you were friends with on Twitch and now like you do stuff together, I would say that might be dangerous territory. You make sure that you're friends first, always and foremost. Always non-business first. That's, I think, how you would handle that and keep everything, copacetic. No one's ever going to have to worry about you screwing them over, vice versa. That's just not a good way to live,
Yeah, you got to keep it all in perspective, for sure. Let's see. We got a question about the chairs we use. I use a Eurotech drafting chair, and I recommend it.
I use a DX Racer Wide Series because I got a fat ass, and I like it. I took out the back part because I don't like having the name there.
Another really interesting one is how do you go about getting social interaction person to person when workplace is usually where people found relationships? Bars, gyms, if you're a religious person, church, or your mosque or wherever you might go. There are other arenas of social interaction. I say that as someone who sucks at doing that. It's very hard to meet people when you're streaming on Twitch.
Or if you're big into Twitch conventions,
TwitchCon.
there's places that you can find like-minded individuals and all that kind of stuff.
Who might live next to you?
Yeah, you never know. Which we'll talk about. That's a security thing too.
That's a security thing too.
Internet friends are real people too, man. You can have
friends
social
are
interaction on Twitch, just as long as you treat it as such.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I got one that you can talk about because
Go ahead.
it was just you don't see it because it's just tweeted at me. Do you think the environment you stream affects you, like when you travel and you're not in your normal setup? You want to talk about that?
Yes.
Hey guys, we got a topic.
Yeah, guys, let me express this to you.
Hold up. Don't start yet.
Okay.
Okay, start. Go.
Okay. Let me express this to you. When you're a streamer, you work really hard on creating an environment for yourself to stream in. And when you're outside of that environment, it is terrible. It is so awful. T-Rex, please. It's so awful because like I'm used to streaming in a quiet room all by myself. I'm kind of sound isolated. I have all these other setups, and I have my entire setup, my entire like situation here is designed to help me deal with the fact that I have attention deficit disorder. So there's nothing to distract me. While we were on vacation, I was streaming in the middle of a kitchen. Okay, I was streaming in a dining room in the middle of a kitchen that in a house that was like, I don't know, a fifth of the size of where I live right now. It was loud. There's dogs barking all the time. People are walking in and out of the rooms. The dogs are barking. Cars are driving by. Drunk people are walking around outside because the place we rented was near a bar. You absolutely are affected by any environmental change as a streamer. I would say that most streamers are going to stream from an environment that's relatively sound controlled and quiet so that they are the source of all the sound. So if you're going to stream from a remote location, I would recommend a hotel room, a isolated room that you might have, and try and make it feel as much like home as possible.
There you go. For me, when I streamed, there was a game that Andy was working with, the guy who was on recently, called Dreadnought. I did a stream from their booth, and I can tell you that this is not their fault, nothing with them, or no beef. It's just that environment I can't do. It was basically 5 computers, and then other side 5 computers. So basically, it was like the teams were set up to face each other with monitors between gaming machines, all kind of stuff. And you had headsets, and you were in just the middle of PAX Prime, and it was just loud and distracting. And it's not. And I was using I had to use push to talk and stuff like that. It was just so drastically different that I couldn't. I felt like it was a garbage cast because I was like I just couldn't focus the entire time. So much extra noise, not my usual stuff. I don't think I think I had one screen with like I had windowed mode for the game and then shadow on one side with OBS in the back. Like
Such a mess.
it's such a mess. To where for some people, they're adaptive and that's like, bam, they can do it. I'm not that person. If I stream at a convention again, I'll probably want to see the setup first before I commit to it. Just because I'd be like, I don't want to be a dick face. I know the streaming stuff they have at the actual Twitch booth is nice. It's in the corner. You have your back's against the wall and your right side, and you have vision of everything to the left. There's something that come behind you. It's nice versus the Dreadnought booth at Prime, which was, oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, man, it's rough.
It's rough. It's real
Rough
bad.
streaming from a location that does not feel like it belongs to you. And Rebel Eyes had a great point. He came here and streamed with me on my setup, and it's jarring. Like everyone has a setup that is built around them. It's
I
like,
don't understand gas setup at all.
Goth's setup, Corey's setup is so different than mine, and it's so different than yours.
It's so different than like everybody's. Holy shit!
Everyone's setup is so.
I
jarring
guess,
and
yeah.
different from each other. Even if it's 3 monitors on a desk, the way that they all work is so different from each person to person. It is so different person to person. It's like rough. I would say, God, man, it's rough because you design your environment to be what you feel like is going to help perform the best.
Yeah.
Like for me, I just recently changed my gaming monitor to the monitor up here, so I'm looking up when I'm streaming instead of down, because
For your neck?
feels better on my neck.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got you.
Yep. True.
Those are good questions.
How do you handle meeting fans in public? If it ever happens, I'm always like, yeah, I'm Professor Roman. You want a picture?
I would say the same thing. Index episode. We'll kind of shorten that sentence to if it ever happens. It's not a thing that happens. It's only happened once, and it was at a GameStop buying a game. Never went to that GameStop again.
Never went into that GameStop again.
I didn't.
Poor GameStop people that loved T-Rex.
It doesn't matter. I was freaking. What is it? I buy most games digitally now, so it's kind of relevant. I don't even go to game stores, so it's whatever. Preloads, man. Dem preloads.
Dem.
Met T-Rex fan at Baltimore Harbor. Yeah, you told me about that. That was freaking cool.
Yeah.
Everyone else seems to be people except for me. Then again, I don't leave my house. Got him.
Oh my gosh.
It's the easy way, man. Be at PAX South, though, guys. If you want to see me, I'll be there.
PAX South. I'll be at PAX East.
Come touch me.
It's gonna be hot.
In a non-invasive manner. I need to
T-Rex.
see you coming at me from the front. And you need to identify yourself with vigorous hand waving, and then I won't be alarmed. I'm gonna get like tackled by somebody, I bet. Just like, oh, I did the vigorous hand waving as like a joke, and be like, oh, fuck you, dude.
So, T, do you have any more stuff that you would like to cover personally?
I mean, not that I can think of. That was kind of a pretty. I feel like we didn't cover everything because it's just it's such a weird topic because there's nothing to really cover.
It's difficult.
Because it's different for everyone. All I can give you is our experiences and how we deal with every single day. Any other last minute questions, chat? We'll give you like a minute. We'll
chat,
graze through
last
them,
minute
and then
questions.
we'll probably close up unless there's any good ones in there. I guess we'll reiterate again while people are talking. Next week's podcast will be hosted on Professor Broman's channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. That will be the 17th of January. Twitch.tv/Professor Broman. We'll be talking about security We don't know if we'll have a special guest or not. Right now, we don't.
Want to have one though.
We want to have one. Do you want to have the one I was talking about?
Yes.
Okay. We'll ask that person. We're not going to give gender away. Spoilers. It's an alien. And then we'll do that. Oh, that's a good one. That happened. I saw this on Twitter. I don't know if we did a thing. About food and drinks. I have this near addiction to soda. Yeah, it sounds stupid. It's not stupid.
Yeah.
So I want to try other products like tea or sugar-free stuff. Dietary stuff is 100% on you. But I mean, I'm under the impression almost probably the opposite of so many people. If it's not killing you and it's helping you get through the day, I find it acceptable because for me, emotional health is over physical health, and that's just my personal take on it. Not saying you should ignore it, but like, you know, it's something you can work on, and if you actually want to change, you will. I would say if it's negatively affecting every other part of your life, yeah, change it. That's why I'm aware that eventually I'm probably gonna have to change a lot of my habits because I'm 24 and I wish to live past 30, kind of thing. So yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about getting sick.
We didn't talk about getting sick.
Do you want to talk very briefly about how to stream when you're sick or what you should do when you're sick and you're streaming?
Don't.
I would say don't. And if you
make it extremely minimal.
yeah, take care of yourself during your stream 100%.
I almost killed myself streaming while I was sick.
Was that with your abscess?
Literally. I kept streaming and streaming and streaming and streaming and refusing to see a doctor, and I woke up one night because my throat was so swollen I was suffocating because I was leaning. I was looking to the left. And I had to go to the hospital. They gave me morphine, operated on my, like, drained this huge abscess in my throat. And it was all because I refused to stop streaming.
Yeah. For me, it took me I had a cold most recently coming back from Christmas that lasted until probably 2 days ago. So I had a cold for almost 2 weeks, and my voice was thrashed. I sounded like this, and it was going out, and I still streamed. My voice probably would have healed if I had taken more breaks, but I didn't. Those streams were, for the most part, short. People were understanding. But yeah, if you're sick, take care of yourself first as best as you can. If you have to stream, because you're like us, try to make it short. Do it in a controlled environment where you're still hydrated and take care of yourself. And then I would say you have to take breaks. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Truth.
But I would say that about wraps it up.
Does wrap it up.
Cool.
Thanks for watching this week, guys. I think it's been awesome. Again, I am Professor Broman. My brother over there is T-Rex. You can follow us on our various platforms. I'm at Professor Broman on Twitter and twitch.tv/Professor Broman if you want to come watch me live stream.
I am on Twitter at the T-Rex, TheTeawrex. A picture of me as like an anime dude being like, look great, formal outfit. And then, yeah, here on this channel, twitch.tv/T-Rex, TeawreX. Both of us stream basically every day. Ben takes Saturdays off. We're both right now kind of playing a little bit of different stuff. I'm playing XCOM. Ben's playing a little bit of Mass Effect 2.
Yep.
So if those are your jams, come hang out. It's a good time. But till then, we will see you next week, January 17th at twitch.tv/Professor Broman to talk about security. Have a fantastic rest of your day, wherever you're watching from or listening from. And we'll see you next week.
See you next
Bye,
week.
guys.